Hello, welcome here to Ron the Cat's Lab. Thank you very much, Ron, for hosting us today and for an excellent Italian lunch, as always. So today we've been working on Ron's keyboard component here, and we've been finishing off largely the refurb of his tape unit. So yeah, I think it's more or less operational now, which is very good. You'll notice that we have Celia's Super Video Arcade at a rather squiffy angle here. The reason for that is that the reason we're using this is because it's been modded for composite AV out. So we get a much better picture than we've had previously. And obviously the AV mod appears to work reasonably well with the keyboard component. And we now also have sound, which we didn't get before when we were using RF, which is good. Yes, so what have we done today? Well, when it comes to the tape refurb, we have replaced the belts, which we weren't able to do last time because we didn't have suitable ones. And we have gone and fixed a fuse that had blown on the power supply board. So there are two fuses. One of them appears to run the solenoids and one of the motors, and that seems to have blown. And replacing it seems to have gotten everything up and running. So we can now eject, and it works, which is brilliant. And we can put in a tape and eject again, and it will rewind the tape before trying to eject. Now the interesting thing that we have discovered in our work today is that the leader at the end of the tape, of a keyboard component tape, is special, and as you can see it hasn't here ejected. So now the only way to stop it continuing to try to rewind, because it doesn't realise it's reached the beginning of the tape, is actually to kill it and reset it. And then to get the tape out we have to apply the emergency credit card fix. So although this tape actually has got quite a clear leader, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a reasonably clear leader. In reality that's not clear enough for the keyboard component. So I think, as we highlighted last time, there is a small light sensor just in the front here which reflects infrared light off the tape as it plays. And keyboard component tapes have a leader which will allow the infrared light to pass through and not be reflected, and it's that the keyboard component uses to detect when the beginning of the tape has been reached. So this is a bit unfortunate that we now, because we don't have a tape, we can't really get too much further. So obviously what we can do though is we should be able to clean, which will attempt to eject the tape again, which will fail, so we will stop it doing that. And eject. So close and clean, which will normally eject the tape. What then happens is it brings the heads forward, so both heads and the pinch roller up against the capstan, and starts the motor playing. And this would be so that you could get an isopropyl alcohol covered Q-tip and clean the heads of the tape deck. Obviously I've left because I've got the cover off, it's not really necessary for it to do this at the moment, but if the cover was on, it would be the only way to get a Q-tip in there. So that's that, and if you just hit return, then it will stop clean mode. And if we put a tape in and try to play a tape, then again it goes into rewind mode, which won't get it very far. So we can kill it and eject the tape, and it will, without a tape at all, it will eject and say that it can't see the tape and effectively ask to have one put in. Now the interesting thing is that the keyboard component uses both the micro switch at the back here, which you probably can't see because it's very dark, and also the tape sensor at the front to try to deduce whether or not there is a tape present. So I think, if I'm a bit cunning, I can fool it into thinking that there is a tape present. So what I have to do is, first of all, hit the micro switch with one finger, and then cover up the light sensor with another finger. So this will fool it into thinking that there's a tape that it needs to rewind, hopefully. Okay, so now the computer screen says that it's rewinding. What I can now do is to remove my thumb from in front of the light sensor, which will then fool the keyboard component into thinking that it's reached the beginning of the tape. And then it goes into seek mode. So now you can see it shuffling backwards and forwards, trying to find a tape that it can read. And now, having tried for a while, it gives up and gives us a tape error. So yes, so I think that is pretty much as far as we can get without a pucker tape. But hopefully we'll be able to get further later. There we go. Cheers.